Hey there, planners. Today I'm going to be setting up the month of September in my work planner, which is an A5 Stalogy. I'm going to be answering some of your questions that you all have been asking recently when it comes to my work planning videos. I'm also going to be talking about kicking off annual business planning for 2022. Yes, it is that time. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. All right, so first up, I'm going to be setting up my monthly calendar for the month of September. I have this printable that comes from Daytimer. This is a free printable from their website. I shrunk it down to the size I needed it to be for my A5 size pages. I will have a link to 2 videos down below in the description box that are all about where I get my free printables. I'm a huge fan of free. I love using printables in my planner. It saves me time, so I'm not drawing out those boxes in all my planners. So if you would like to see more of where I get free printables from and start using free printables in your planner, go check out those 2 videos. So I'm going to be taping this down with double-sided tape. And I am excited about setting up September because really this is like that transitional month as we start to think about the end of the year. It's the end of summer. Summer vacations are winding down, getting back into routine, and it's really time to start thinking about the next year. And this is typically when I start doing annual business planning. And I break up business planning into several different segments as we go through the final months of the year. For business planning for me, I believe this can be done on a personal or team basis, and I think it's probably one of the most important activities that I do for myself and my teams when it comes to really being prepared from a goal setting standpoint, from a metric standpoint, really getting everybody's head in the game and alignment around how we go into the next year and hit the ground running on January 1st. So that takes time. It takes time to get everybody aligned and thinking and really looking ahead. I do like to break it up into chunks because, you know, I have been in organizations in the past and I have tried it myself to lead a business planning session all in a 1 or 2 day session right at the end of the year. And that really is too much. It's too much to ask of folks. I believe there's a bit of creativity that has to happen when it comes to goal planning and business planning for future years. You know, you're really dreaming a bit, and so I think that takes time. I like to break it down into bite-sized chunks. All right, so I've got this tape down. I'm going to slap in a sticker for the month of September. And I've already got my calendar numbered. You know, I have used different formats for drawing in or taping in the month. And this month, you'll see I'm using a bit bigger calendar because there is so much going on. And like I said, I am going to be starting business planning, and so there's a lot to keep up with. September, for whatever reason, both in my personal life and in my work life, just the pace really picks up in the month of September. And that's good. I think it's a sign that folks are starting to think about the end of the year, making that transition to the cooler months and really looking ahead to the end of the year. So I will use this calendar to pop in any key due dates, any items that I have to keep in front of me, big meetings, things I have to prepare for. I'll use this calendar for all of that. So what am I going to do with this next page? This is going to be my master to-do list for the month. I keep one in every monthly section, the calendar, and then a master to-do list. And this is a place for me to dump things that don't necessarily have a date assigned to them on a week or a day. They're just overarching items that I need to get done this month or my team needs to get done this month. It's also a place that I capture as I come across things that need to be done in future months. I pop them in here so that I don't lose them. They're in my planning system. They're safe. One of the ways that I get these items is through my weekly and monthly review processes, which I have a video all about my weekly reviews and how I brain dump and look back and pull things forward, my great actions. If you are interested interested in learning more about that, I will leave that video link down in the description box below. So let me go ahead and set up the master to-do list, and then I'll be back. All right, so there is my master to-do list set up. It's really basic and simple. You could do this without washi tape. I've talked a lot about decoration in my work planner. So, you know, I need my planner to be attractive. It helps me want to use it, get into it. And so I use just the most basic decoration, which is really just some washi tape. I've got, you know, 2 washi tapes, black and white, and a yellow from Simply Gilded. And I'm using that to functionally to really divide the page up, put a header on it. I do have some stickers. You know, I pull from stickers that I use, that I don't use, leftovers, things like that in other kits. I do use stickers in my personal planning and a lot more decor. I try to keep everything very functional in my work planner. So the way I use this, I actually divide the page into 2 columns, and I do that throughout this A5 size notebook. I really find that that is helpful to me. It maximizes the space that I have, the real estate that I have in the planner, so that I can get the most out of it. And so that gives me 2 columns to pop things into. Sometimes I will divvy up what these columns mean. So maybe the left-hand column is a list of my to-dos, and the right-hand column is a list of my team's to-dos, just so I can keep up with what everybody's working on and what I need to get done as well. So those are the first 2 pages in my work planning system. I'm going to flip over and set up the next 2 pages, which are all about my direct reports and my own one-on-ones with my boss, the communications that I need to have as I go through the month of September. All right, so I've got these 2 pages set up, and I'll talk a little bit about it. This is one of the items that you guys ask about quite a bit, and that is one-on-ones and staff meetings. So I have a reference planner that I use for work. It's an A5 file of facts rings planner that I use as a reference notebook. That's where I keep like permanent notes, things I need to keep in front of me for at least 12 months, all the records of my one-on-ones with my boss and one-on-one meetings with my team, you know, kind of the outcome, actions, things like that. But the way I use this planner, this is my day-to-day workhorse planner, where I capture all my notes, thoughts, questions, things like that. I set up this page for my one-on-ones for each of my direct reports. This is a place for me to brain dump questions that I need to ask them, you know, items that I want to talk about or review, any important things that are coming up for those teammates, like maybe a work anniversary, some time off that they have, something like that. I will come in here and just scratch a note out, and then when I actually meet with that person, I flip back to this page and make sure I'm covering all the items that I have captured here. So this is kind of a running list that is specific to each of the folks who report to me. This top section is, I've titled it Communicate. And, you know, if you lead people or you lead teams or even work on projects, you know that there are some items that you just have to repetitively communicate over and over again over a period of time. It may be an important status update. It may be a key message. It may be a goal, you know, something like that, that you just need to keep repeating to multiple audiences. I'm going to be using this section to capture those. I'm in a place right now where I do have several of those type of messages that I need to communicate to multiple places, including staff meetings, either staff meetings that I attend with my boss or staff meetings that I hold with my staff. Those items that are repetitive are going to go here. And then I have a big old section for my one-on-one, things I want to talk to my boss about, things I want to ask questions about, things that they have asked me to do. I will put all of that in this section. So these 2 pages give me a great space to come to, particularly at the end of my weekly reviews and any items that I've captured for communication, to talk to my leadership about, or to talk to my team about. I go ahead and capture that here. The other thing, and I've talked about this before, you know, while I have meetings specifically scheduled with my leadership as well as my direct reports, you never know when those opportunities are going to pop up just impromptu. You happen to be on the phone, maybe you know, a conference call starts late and you just have that that time to chit chat, I will flip to this page strategically during that time and use the time. So if I've got extra time, before a meeting starts, or I catch someone, just on another topic, I'll flip to this page and see, is there anything that I should probably take advantage of the opportunity to communicate? If it's with my leadership, is there anything I can quickly check off the list that I wanted to cover? And then same thing with my team. So these pages are really important to my planning system. They're kind of a brain dump, but specific to individuals or items to communicate. All right, so I've got 2 additional pages that I've set up here specifically for the month of September and to start kicking off business planning for the year 2022. I know it seems early, but the way I approach business planning is to break it into manageable chunks, and September is absolutely the time to start doing that if you're going to get to the end of the year, be fully aligned with your team, with your leadership, have a good understanding of the common goals, how they drill down into individual goals, and have all the metrics set and ready to go. When I back that up and put it into manageable chunks where I'm not overtaxing people's minds and, sort of reaching a point of diminishing returns in the day, I have to break that up and start in September. So the first page I have set up is 2021 goals. And this is because I absolutely have to keep this in front of me even as I am starting to think about 2022. 2021 goals, we're making really great progress. I want to make sure to take the time to map out exactly what are the items that need to be occurring in the month of September, in the month of October, November, and December to successfully close this out. And this is really going to get me laser focused on the rest of the year. At the same time, I'm kicking off with the first activity that I do from a business planning standpoint with my team, and that is called a destination postcard. So I'm going to pop up some information as I talk through my process. For business planning for me, I start with an activity called a destination postcard. This is something that can be done individually or as a team. And it involves really imagining yourself at a future destination and writing back to yourself why the year went so well. I partnered this activity with the 25-5 strategy from Warren Buffett. I'll leave a link to an article down in the description box below, which gives a great overview of what is this strategy. There's also a really great overview in video format here on YouTube. I'll also leave a link to that below. But basically what I have my team do is prior to the meeting, so it's a little bit of pre-work, I'll have them conduct the destination postcard. I don't ask them to share the results of that because some of it is about personal goals and it's really about getting them in the mindset of thinking futuristically and dreaming a bit. There's a bit of creativity that you tap into here, and I think that is such a wonderful element to bring into business planning. Business planning and goal setting is a creative process because you're imagining where you want to be in the future. And so destination postcard I have found is a great way to get people to do that. I will say the more technical, analytical, engineering types sometimes struggle with this exercise, while on the other hand, sometimes I've seen them break out colored pencils and go to town. So you never know what to expect. The point is to get folks thinking about the future and really dreaming, manifesting what they want it to look like. Collectively, we come together and we share insights that we gained, specifically a few items out of that. What were the goals? What were the main priorities that came out of that exercise for the year ahead? And then we conduct the 25-5 strategy exercise from Warren Buffett. I've tailored that for my team. Basically, we spend time writing a list of 25 things we want to do, and then we get down through a very specific process that I facilitate with the team. We get down to five things that we're going to do, and then have a lot of discussion about what that means for the other 20 that didn't make the list. What I want to do here on this page is capture capture the outcome of that destination postcard as well as the 25-5 exercise. Because while we are getting to the point where we're really focusing on 5 things, I don't want to lose sight of all the other good insights and information the team offered, because I don't know how I'm going to need that in the future. And so this is where I will capture that information. If you are interested in hearing a more detailed walkthrough or any additional information about business planning and how I attack it, I would be happy to do a more in-depth detailed video on that topic. What comes after this step? In the month of October, we will conduct a SWOT analysis, which you're probably familiar with that. We do a SWOT analysis as a team, really looking at strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. And then we also take that and turn it into an agility strategy exercise where we really look at how do we mitigate the things we need to mitigate, the threats and the weaknesses, and how do we capitalize on the strengths and the opportunities. So again, all of that, I'm happy to do more detailed video on if you're interested in learning more about that and how we take all of that exercise and information and turn it into our final business plan by the end of the year. So each month through the end of the year, I will have some section on my business planning work that I'm doing with the team and how that's going and getting us closer to the end of the year. All right, so that's the setup for the month of September. I've got my monthly calendar, my master to-do list. I've got the place to capture time with my one-on-ones and with my direct reports, what I need to cover, what I need to communicate, what I needed to be talking to my leadership about, as well as really starting to dig into business planning for the end of the year. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got inspiration out of it. I am absolutely loving the questions that you all are asking and the information that you're sharing about your work planning system. You know, I struggled quite a bit looking for examples on YouTube, on Pinterest, on, other places of how folks are doing planning for work. That's part of the reason why I wanted to start this channel and make these videos, because I really had to work through and figure out a lot of stuff on my own. And I love engaging with other people who are passionate about planning when it comes to your career and your profession. So please keep all the questions coming. Keep dropping your ideas, your information, what you're doing down in the comments so that we continue to share and learn from each other. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Planning Annie for more content like this. And as always, thanks for planning with me.